Thanks for tuning in to the Palm Beach Podcast, a weekly show highlighting people making a positive impact in Palm Beach County. With your hosts, sports chiropractor and athletic trainer, Dr. James Spencer, photographer and art director, Mike Jones. Our show is brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Indo Board, and Lotus Trips for travel and retreats to Palm Beach County. Hello, and welcome to the Palm Beach Podcast. My name is Mike Jones. I'm here at Media Zone on Singer Island, hanging out with a couple cool dudes. My co-host, Dr. James Spencer, how are you doing?
Good to see you with that Indo Board shirt on today.
Hey, absolutely. Well, big shout out to the folks at Indo Board who wanted to sponsor the show and send us some swag and some Indo Boards for us to ride. And yeah, we've grown up with them, so it's really cool for them to reach out like that.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Balance is everything.
Yes, sir. You know the deal. So we got local legend here, Adam Jones.
Pleasure to be here.
Owner of Jupiter Donuts, the one and only. Hey.
Pleasure to be here, man.
Thanks again for coming in for a second visit.
Anytime.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you coming back. And you brought donuts again. So
I did, yeah, man. And
you really are
can't come empty-handed.
That's amazing.
Always nice to be here.
And congratulations. I know that you've got some exciting news with a new shop opening. Why don't you share what you've been up to in Palm Beach County?
Well, the company is opening up a brand new store, hopefully by the end of next month.
Awesome.
In Lantana. It's going to be my brother-in-law's first stab at business ownership. So, we're excited on all fronts. A lot of traffic. It's going to be, close to where you're at.
Yep.
Right at Lantana and Jog area.
Yeah. That's a good, busy area, too, right over there.
It is.
A lot of foot traffic. Chris's Taverna is over there.
Crushes it.
Yeah.
Busy all the time.
That's where we get the gyros.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity, for a family member to help your business grow.
Absolutely.
And talk a little bit about that. We know the story, but talk a little bit, kind of how you keep things within the family.
Yeah, so we bought the original store in 2013, September. And since then, we figured we had something pretty special when we were having people from North Miami driving up on Saturdays. So, it was time to grow a little bit. We grew to Royal Palm, which was our second store. And from there, we've gone to North Palm Beach, Stewart, Boynton, Boca. Now we're going to be in Lantana. We also have one on the west coast of Florida in Largo. So yeah, it's all family members, all family owned and operated. And it's my brother-in-law's been a baker for 3 years at the Royal Palm store, and now it's time to stretch out and
cool.
Show us what you got.
Expand, baby.
That's
I like
it, man.
I like it. And tell us a little bit kind of how you got into the donut business, how you've learned some of the the nicks and bruises along the way, and I think some things to share with our listeners, maybe how they can relate to those situations, whether they're starting out a new business or going to progress into a kind of a career.
Yeah, absolutely. So myself and my family have been in the restaurant business for forever, as long as I can remember. Something I've always tried to get out and do something else, but something that always kind of sucks me back in. Yeah. So we had some bars and restaurants that we were interested in selling, and my partner in Jupiter was selling groceries for Cheney Brothers, and wanted to do something on his own. He had a restaurant right out of college, and wanted to get back into it. So he's like, well, why don't we open up this pizza joint? And we're like, we are literally trying to sell a pizza joint right now. We got to figure something else out. So he's like, there's this bang up donut shop on my route. They do a crazy business. What do you guys know about donuts? And I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about them, but we could figure something out.
Yeah.
So, he went to the original owners, asked if he can, work with them a little bit and learn the business and, hopefully open up a competing donut shop right down the street. So they're like, yeah, come on in,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll just show you how to do it.
That's actually really cool.
It's crazy. It's unheard of. So, at the end of the 60 days he was there, working his other job and working overnight, not enough hours in the day. They're like, well, why don't you just buy this place? And
so that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it. We, scrounged up all our nickels and dimes and,
made it happen.
Went all in. Sold the restaurants and, just went full tilt into the donut biz.
Congrats, man. That's
awesome.
Awesome.
It was cool, and it changed our lives 100%.
And I know there's just like a cult following for this place. You know, there's just something about it. People love going there. People like to just like take Instagram photos there.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really cool to see.
It is. You know, it's and like I said, we had something special when we were having families, you know, make a day out of it, which to me is unheard of. I mean, I was never a donut guy, cool. But yeah, so yeah, we expanded from there, and you know, people are taking pictures with Instagram, putting candies and crazy stuff all over these donuts, and you know, it's just give them what they want, man.
Well, I know I was mentioning to a patient that you were coming in this week, and she says, "Oh my gosh, every morning in my classroom, there's Jupiter Donuts down in Boca."
Oh yeah.
And she's like, literally every single week, Jupiter Donuts is in the classroom. I'm like, well, I'll let them know.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's how that's what we want.
Word of mouth, and honestly, you guys should be proud of the business that you've done and where you're continuing, you know, to grow. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, of course. Really cool. Thanks.
Now, tell us a little bit about the creativity. You know, I know you let your bakers, you know, have a little room to play.
Not necessarily the bakers. You know, we'll start off with the logo. My wife created this logo. You know, we wanted a box that if you threw an empty box out of the window on 95,
it pops.
It could land,
Marketing.
and you can see what it is. So
it pops.
As far as the bakers are, I mean, it's all pretty standard. The decorators is where the magic really happens. It's, you know, they come in early, dress the donuts with the, you know, finishing is what it's called, and we give them kind of full reign, man. You know, we have about 40 different flavors on the menu at all times.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them staples, but you know, it's we're nothing without employee creativity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if they want to try something out, by all means.
And that's the culture that you've created there. You allow them to be their artistic side.
Yes, we
Right?
encourage it 100%.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
And it tastes good too. Doesn't hurt.
It does, yeah. It's you know, you could come up with some flavors that don't necessarily mix, but you know, it's not a bad thing.
Now, if you had to pick, you know, one of your personal favorites or maybe a fan favorite,
I love it.
what would you think?
The Samoa, 100%. My mom used to sell Girl Scout cookies for many, many years. So our garage was chock full of these things. I mean, to the ceiling.
Hey.
But Samoa was always the best. It was Caramel Delight if you're old school.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the one. That's the go-to for me.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I know that's what I was digging into as well.
Oh yeah.
What about as far as seasonal? Do you have some seasonal donuts too that are big hits?
We do. You know, it's tough to say that key lime's seasonal because down here it's, you know, all season.
Yeah.
But you know, pumpkin when the basicness kicks in the
yeah.
fall, pumpkin kicks in as well. Carrot cake.
I love that.
But yeah, spring flavors are, you know, down here it's all fruit.
That's beautiful, man. How long did it take your wife to design this? Was it a little bit of trial and error?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, you know, she put it together in a couple months, and
I just love the way it pops.
yeah, it's great colors.
Like teal and pink are just great for Palm Beach County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just something about the whole, you know, Lily Pulitzer and this whole vibe, and it captures it great.
It's very Florida, 100%. When we were going for a retro look, and you know, I think she nailed it.
And what are your future goals with restaurants? Would you like to expand up the East Coast of Florida or in Florida in general, or kind of just keep things nice and sound here in Palm Beach?
We have a great presence in Palm Beach County.
Yep.
We have one store in Martin and one store in Pinellas County on the West Coast. But the Jupiter name, it's all Palm Beach County. What we would love to see is thousands of these things popping up all over the place, which is why, you know, we wanted to brand and create an out-of-this-world experience with our stores. But, you know, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, we're all pretty comfortable right now, which is, you know, nice.
Correct.
Something we're not used to.
Correct.
So, I don't know. We may ride out comfy for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and enjoy that, too. You guys have worked your asses off since 2013 and prior to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've had the nicks and bruises and bumps to go, okay, this is how we're going to grow this.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is about the experience.
It is.
You know, whether it's going into your store or coming into here, it's really what we want to create as a culture. And as you guys, you know, similar, when you walk in there, it's the feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's the at-home environment, the relatability, the friendship, which is unique to a lot of businesses.
Oh, yeah.
So I know Mike and I can attest to that, where it's very comfortable and warming walking into a Jupiter Donuts.
And that's how we want it, man. We come from the bar business, you know, where we would have regulars you'd see 6-7 times a week. You go from being the most loved guy in the room to the most hated
Right.
in a matter of a cocktail or two. But we want that same feel. You come into the store, you're greeted with a warm welcome, a familiar face, somebody knows you,
Kind of that Cheers feel.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You come in, you figure out what's going on. 5 minutes, you're gone. And you're starting your day like that. So it's important to us.
So what do you think? It's January here now in South Florida, so season is in full swing here in Palm Beach County.
It is.
How does that affect your business?
We see it quite a bit. Some stores more so than others. But we're all pretty seasonal.
Sure.
Out west in Royal Palm, it's you got the same crowd, the same family crowd. We have a lot of snowbirds that live right behind our North Palm store. So, when we start seeing them come back, it's, we know it's on. Yeah.
Those spots on the water are really nice there.
They're great.
You got frigates and
yeah. It's a great area. It made me want to move out there, which I did about 3 years ago. So
smart man.
Yeah.
Right by the water. And
it's great. It's a great area. It's one of those nice nooks of Palm Beach County that, is beautiful, still quiet. Very.
Hidden gem.
Which is cool.
Yep.
And it's close to home for me. I live on Singer Island, so
yeah,
it's just a hop and a skip.
Yes, that's it.
I love it. Love it. Now tell us a little bit about, kind of how you let the culture be created. You influence it, but how do you let other things flow in there as far as dynamics, music, vibrancy of the places?
Yeah. So what we were going for was a nostalgic feel. We see it with a lot of the old schools that come in and, oh man, we used to, have this spot back in,
exactly
back here, get a couple donuts and a cup of coffee. It just reminds me of that. That's kind of the feel that we were going for. When you walk in, it looks like an old school diner. It's got that old feel. We got some, 50s to 60s and 70s music on the majority of the time.
Yeah. I love it.
It's just, we wanted nostalgia.
I love it. Well,
take people elsewhere for a few minutes.
Well, and we know, a big mentor of ours, Gary V. That's what he says. Nostalgia sells, right? And that's the truth. I mean, that's as we kind of get back to the roots and the basics. That's what you realize.
Yeah,
that's what people want.
Of course, it brings you back to what you remember as a kid, and you want these kids to remember this stuff when they're older. So I don't know. It's.
Yeah, something too that Hunter from Indo board said is everybody just wants to be a kid again. And I think people need to embrace that a little bit more often than they are. Yeah, we have to be proper and whatnot, but also get back to your roots, enjoy having fun, enjoy being a little bit nostalgic, and get back to what makes you happy.
Exactly. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she's in gymnastics, traveling gymnastics 4 days a week.
God bless you.
She goes to it's crazy, man. So she goes to school. She's great in school. Goes straight from school to gymnastics 4 days a week. So we were chatting with her teacher, her instructor, and we're like, why don't we just go to 3 days, man? These kids are kids. They're all tired. And they get tired and get attitudey, and the kids aren't cool anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we lose this, we're on this go all the time. I'm like, the kids just need some time to just be kids.
Totally.
I can relate because I played baseball in the spring and then football in the fall for most of my life. And so it was so nice to take a summer off one time or something, just, you do get caught up. And as a kid, you listen to what people say. You should be doing this, or you should go here, or you should compete in that. And so, it's very nice to not get so caught up as a kid.
Well, even in my business, I can tell you there's a particular situation I remember of this young kid who was doing a lot of volume, very similar to your daughter. And I just went to the parents. I said, we need to reduce this. Yeah. And I said, actually, what I suggest is he get out of town and just go relax. They let him go down to the Keys. He went fishing, came back, and set 2 personal records.
Wow.
And it was just, you don't need more volume. You actually need less, and go be a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, again, more people need to embrace that, and they're not.
I think so. Yeah, it's important. We've gotten to this go culture, and scaling it back a little bit would be nice. I don't know. I mean, I just built a pool for her,
Yeah.
and it'd just be nice to go out and veg
out
out in
there.
the pool.
Totally.
So, so when she has a birthday, does she get like a donut birthday cake, or how does it work in the family? Does she get anything special?
Of course she does.
Not as far as donuts. No, we do custom cakes for her, but we feel like a lot of the invitations come with a string attached.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to get invited to stuff.
Yeah, sure.
We go to a lot of parties, and
You could do a little bit of bartering in Palm Beach County.
oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And that's what we need to get back to is bartering. I know it's kind of frowned upon, but that's something I do as well. Is like, listen, if you got something that I need and I've got a service that I can provide you, why wouldn't we?
Utilize it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Utilize it.
yeah. That's old school culture too.
Oh yeah.
Well, and it's like nowadays it's just so competitive out there. Like you just got to get out there and try stuff, and you don't know until you know. And that's what we learned in here, and I'm sure that's what you learned in your business. Is you have all these great ideas on paper, and until practical application, you just figure things out.
You only fail if you don't try them.
Sure.
100%.
I like that quote.
Yeah.
I like that quote.
You can only fail. You will never fail. I mean, you're always going to learn something. Obviously it didn't work. Cool. You learned it.
Yeah.
But you only fail if you don't try.
And that's the same. I mean, think about it from a little kid baby standpoint. They learn from failing by falling over. Eventually, the brain learns, oh, that's how you stand up, right? It's the same thing in business.
Yeah.
Trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And the market will tell you what it likes or doesn't like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that's pretty cool. I know it's just constant feedback for your business, for our business, and it's also growth. But if you don't try it, that's actually when you're failing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You don't even give yourself the opportunity. So.
Wow. Well, it's I know it's certainly applicable for us because this is the second time we had you in the studio. So I'll just take one on the chin and say thank you for coming back to the Palm Beach podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
And spoiling us with donuts again.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure being here.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, salud.
And I know, James, you do have something in the works about a little donut competition, little
So
hush hush activity, maybe.
yeah, so this is something we've talked about. We've done for years, but we've talked about having a donut eating competition, specifically Jupiter donuts. We've been doing Jupiter donuts for like the last 4 or 5 years. And what we have is a select few of guys that must eat 12 donuts in less than an hour. No milk, water only. We're going to limit 20 ounces of water.
Okay.
When you're done, you're done. You don't get a refill. We're strict.
That's
Prison
kinda
rules.
savage,
Prison
bro.
rules.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we're going to have no more than 3 consecutive donuts. We got to have glazed, a topping, filler, and then kind of like the shitty selection of the ones you don't like. So
I think it's actually. Do you think having a variety helps?
you know what, that's the rules.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't really matter. So
It's not necessarily going to cut the sweetness.
No.
Because the sweetness is going to be there.
I've seen it.
Because like 12 powdered sugar donuts, I would like keel over. Like I want variety.
You would want variety,
Totally.
yes.
So I got some money on a particular guy, and there's a few athletes behind this. So we'll definitely have you there for it during spring training, and this is gonna be a fun time.
I'm excited about it. I've always been a fan of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Heck yeah!
And from where it came from to where it's at now, it's just it's where I spend my day on the 4th.
I love it.
I
love it.
So it's to turn something into hopefully that
Yes
would be phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully our audience stays tuned, and I know
Spring training's around the corner.
it is.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
It's
a
a
lot
fun
going
time
to baseball. Yeah.
It's a fun time of year here. We've got the equestrian people in town.
Totally. We got
The
the Honda
snowbirds.
the snowbirds, the Honda Classic coming.
Mhm.
We got what else? We have Super Bowl coming.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To our area.
Yep. We got the Delray Open coming.
That's right.
So
Hey, and luckily we do know that you can jump on the Bright Line
totally.
because our good friend Josh Cohen over at ESPN Radio would love for you to use code ESPN and give him a little shout out on that Brightline Ching,
Wonderful.
At 25% off your first ride?
I think it was a pretty good deal. If you're going to the Super Bowl, you might just want to take a limousine anyways, but if not,
take the Brightline.
Yeah.
Take the Brightline down there. It'll drop you right off.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a lot going on in South Florida sports-wise here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Adam, thanks again for coming on, bro. And I know Mike and I can always say it's a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Anytime you ask, man, I'll be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming back onto the Palm Beach podcast.
My pleasure. Next time we'll have a lot more to talk about.
And you get your brother-in-law on here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited for him. Yeah.
Let's give him a shout out. Tell him he's missing out here.
Donald Pascali. He's a hardworking dude, and
respect that.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. So he wants to take a stab at it. I'm excited to see it.
Awesome.
Anything he needs, I'm always there for him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now I've got another place that I can go and buy Jupiter Donuts on the way to your house. So
of course, more stops, man. Make it convenient for everybody.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, hey,
cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Ubuntu.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Palm Beach Podcast, brought to you by Pump House Coffee Roasters, Indo Board, and Lotus Trips for travel and retreats to Palm Beach County.